Updates continue to flood in surrounding the case of David, and the situation grows darker with each new revelation. Authorities confirm that Celeste Rivas, a teenage girl, was discovered deceased in the front trunk of an impounded Tesla registered under his name. Within 48 hours of that grim discovery, LAPD officers moved quickly, executing a search warrant on a Hollywood Hills residence connected to d4vd and seizing multiple electronic devices, phones, and storage drives. I would sit down and try to find things for inspiration because I was just writing these beautiful, beautiful songs. My mother was like, where is these lyrics coming from? You're homeschooled. What do you know about love? What do you know about heartbreak? I would go on Discord and I would go on Fortnite, and I will not just let people talk to me and just tell me about their lives, and I would basically just take their lives and write songs about them. This development has sparked intense speculation across social media and news outlets as thousands now question why no formal arrest has yet been made and why the investigation appears to be unfolding so slowly. Public concern has reached new heights as details continue to surface. Reports indicate that the Tesla had been towed to a Hollywood impound lot where staff, after noticing a powerful odor, opened the front trunk and made the horrifying discovery. Detectives have since broadened their investigation, scrutinizing both the vehicle's history and digital footprints linked to d4vd. Music. Now, why would the artist do that? In response to the mounting pressure, several high-profile brands previously partnering with d4vd, including major fashion labels, have pulled back their campaigns, and his planned world tour has been indefinitely paused, signaling how serious and far-reaching this case has become. Famous names in the entertainment industry are already stepping back from the controversy. Canadian singer Tay McRae and artist Kyuchi have publicly distanced themselves, signaling how serious and high-profile this situation has become. This backdrop has left people demanding answers. Why hasn't d4vd been arrested yet? And what is really happening behind the scenes? Let's break down the timeline step by step. According to official statements, the Tesla involved was registered to David Burke, the legal name of d4vd. Inside that vehicle, authorities found the severely decomposed remains of Celeste Rivas, making it difficult for medical examiners to immediately determine the cause or manner of death. Investigators disclosed that the body had been inside the Tesla for an extended period, although they have not revealed precisely how long. Further details show that the Tesla was towed to Hollywood Tow after being reported abandoned. NBC Los Angeles reported that neighbors saw the vehicle parked for more than a month before it was finally removed, explaining the overwhelming odor. Applause. When a body decomposes inside a sealed space like a vehicle, gases accumulate and the smell becomes impossible to ignore. A key factor in how authorities often make discoveries like this. Celeste Rivas was only 14 years old at the time of her death and would have turned 15 on September 7, 2025. Her body was found just one day later on September 8, 2025. This tragic timing has intensified public outrage and scrutiny, as many are now questioning what really happened during the weeks before the discovery and why the investigation appears to be moving slowly. That means it's now officially confirmed. Celeste Rivas died at 14 years old, not 15. Early confusion came from the medical examiner's initial listing, which briefly had her as 15. That error has since been corrected. This clarification matters because it underscores just how young she truly was and how devastating this case already is for everyone following it. The medical examiner also released further details about her discovery. Celeste was wearing a tube top and small black leggings. She had wavy black hair, a metal stud earring, and a yellow metal chain bracelet. Small but chilling pieces of information that show how investigators are carefully documenting the scene. Even though the cause of death still has not been officially released due to the advanced state of decomposition, the Los Angeles Times reported that authorities are treating this as a homicide investigation. That label changes everything because it means detectives believe foul play may be involved. However, no one has yet been named as a suspect, and investigators continue to work to determine who is responsible. Within hours of Celeste being identified, the LAPD Robbery Homicide Division moved quickly, serving a search warrant at a Hollywood Hills home where d4vd had been staying. The property is located in an upscale area on Dane Drive, just north of Sunset Boulevard. While David does not own the home, sources confirm detectives left with multiple computers, hard drives, and other electronic devices that could provide critical evidence. This aggressive search signals how seriously law enforcement is taking the case and how they are trying to build a solid timeline around the events leading up to Celeste's death. This marked the first major signal that law enforcement is actively digging into d4vd's world and trying to understand every link in this disturbing case. Right now, there is clearly a documented connection between d4vd and Celeste. Her mother has already confirmed she had a boyfriend named David, and online users have uncovered multiple indicators, matching tattoos, resurfaced photos of them together, and even a widely shared livestream clip. All of this adds pressure to the investigation, but still leaves crucial questions unanswered. Investigators are trying to figure out exactly how deep that connection went and whether it crosses over into criminal behavior. The Tesla was registered to d4vd and Celeste's body was found inside. Yet, police sources stress that it is just one of several vehicles linked to him. In high-profile cases like this, celebrities often have friends, managers, staff, or drivers using their vehicles at different times. This means registration alone cannot automatically prove who was driving or who placed Celeste in that trunk. That is why detectives must be extremely careful. They need more than paperwork. They need DNA, digital trails, surveillance footage, phone records, or a clear timeline tying a specific individual to the car at the exact time the crime occurred. Without solid forensic evidence, any arrest risks falling apart in court, especially given the public scrutiny and high stakes. As of now, that is exactly where the case stands. In an intense fact-gathering phase where investigators are building a timeline and searching for irrefutable proof before taking the next step. At this stage of the investigation, police are painstakingly retracing Celeste's final days and combing through every single device seized from d4vd's residence because whatever is hidden on those electronics could provide the missing pieces of the puzzle. Digital footprints such as text messages, location pings, deleted files, or hidden accounts could reveal who she contacted, where she went, and who may have been with her. At the same time, investigators are patiently awaiting full forensic reports to close the gaps in the physical evidence. This explains the public's silence and the lack of visible action. A case of this magnitude cannot be rushed. To build a case that holds up in court, every detail must align beyond reasonable doubt. Investigators are zeroing in on two critical questions. First, the exact timeline of events. They must pinpoint when Celeste died. Current evidence shows an extended period before discovery, but the precise time of death is still undetermined. Second, the timing of when her body was placed in the Tesla and by whom. This single detail could make or break the case. These blanks create the central complication. Detectives still do not know the precise moment Celeste died or exactly when she ended up inside that car. Until those blanks are filled, any arrest risks falling apart under scrutiny. This is why social media has erupted with speculation, frustration, and outrage about why d4vd hasn't been arrested yet. The reality is that without airtight evidence, the entire case could collapse in court. And investigators know they only get one chance to get it right. Across social media, frustration has been building with some people speculating there must be favoritism at play, suggesting d4vd is paying someone off to remain free. But according to legal standards, that is not how this process works. In the eyes of the law, every person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. At this stage, investigators have stated that d4vd has been cooperating with police, which can sometimes help clarify timelines or provide useful information. However, cooperation does not automatically clear a suspect since guilty individuals also cooperate, but it can demonstrate willingness to engage with authorities if later evidence shows no involvement. The bigger picture centers on the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner. Until the official ruling on Celeste's cause and manner of death is issued, particularly whether it is definitively classified as a homicide, law enforcement is restricted in how far they can go with charges. That ruling will determine the legal footing for any next steps. Even though d4vd is connected to this case because the Tesla was registered to him, detectives must still prove how deep that connection runs. Ownership alone is not enough to secure a conviction. They need to establish a timeline, a chain of custody, and direct evidence linking an individual to the act. This careful, deliberate pace explains why the case appears to be moving slower than the public expects. With a case of this visibility, every piece of evidence must be airtight, every procedure beyond reproach, to stand up in court and avoid dismissal on technical grounds. Right now, all eyes are locked on the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office because its final report will be the single most important piece of this entire investigation. Once the autopsy is complete and the toxicology results are returned, law enforcement will have a far clearer picture of what actually happened to Celeste Rivas inside that Tesla. These findings will not only confirm the manner of death, but also provide investigators with a working timeline, narrowing down how long her body was in the car and whether injuries or substances played a role. For detectives, this report is more than just paperwork. It will determine where to send search warrants next, which witnesses to arraign, and which digital devices to prioritize from the electronics they seized at the Hollywood Hills home tied to d4vd. The information could also highlight inconsistencies between public statements and evidence, revealing new suspects or exonerating others. Until then, investigators are quietly reconstructing Celeste's last days, compiling camera footage from neighborhoods, and tracking electronic data like messages, ride shares, and GPS pings. This careful preparation shows that officials are building a timeline that can hold up under scrutiny, not a rush to judgment. For the public, the silence might be frustrating, but it reflects the seriousness of the case.